Hello and welcome back to Movies and Us. I'm Marcus.
And I'm TJ.
And this is the movie show that we genres we're getting sometimes. And today we're doing our 130th episode. Oh, god dang, that's a lot of episodes. It's another break. It's another week of breaks? Another break in the week. Another week in the breaks.
Not really, honestly.
Yeah, so we're doing a 1946 film. Shocker. I picked this, guys. You know, eat an egg, the usual. It's a movie called Notorious. Like I said, from 1946. It's a Hitchcock film. Alfred Hitchcock, directed it. So, you know, we're going to review this. If you guys don't like it, guess what, but I don't care. This movie, with a runtime of 1 hour and 41 minutes, was premiered August 15th, 1946, had a worldwide release September 6th, 1946. Like I said, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, written by Ben Hecht. Ben Hecht. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Produced by Alfred Hitchcock, starring a few people. Cary Grant, who as, let me pull the page up because I don't know who her character name is. Cary Grant as, his name is Devlin. Ingrid Bergman as Alicia Huberman. We have Claude Rains as Alexander Alex Sebastian. Lewis Calhern as Captain Paul Prescott. That's a fun name, Captain Paul Prescott. Goddamn, I said it off screen. Leopoldine Constantine, right? Madame Sebastian. Ryan, shut up. Reinhold Schunzel as Dr. Anderson. Moroni L. Olsen as Walter Beardsley. God damn it. Ivan Trizolt as Eric Mathis. Alex Menotis as Joseph the Butler. Mm-hmm. Wally Brown as Mr. Hopkins. Sir Charles Mendel? I think it's L. As Commodore, I guess. Richard Costa as Dr. Julio. What's that, TJ? Eberhard Krumschmidt as Emil Hupke. Faye Baker as Ethel. Benederet. B? Oh, okay. B. Benederet. That's a cool name, actually. As file clerk, uncredited. Peter von Zerknick as William Rosner. And Frederick von Lideber as Knurr. Knurr. God, Jesus, God. Those are some names. What else we doing, TJ?
I don't know where you want to go from there. You're running this one.
I guess that's the rest of that. That's all that. Besides budget, we'll do it later. I guess go behind the scenes then. You can take it over for a little bit. You've been too quiet.
I was just enjoying your struggling, is all.
You always do.
Behind the scenes is, I want to say a lot, but it's not so much a lot as just one continuous thing that really happened.
Oh.
So the movie was originally produced by David O. Selznick. He initially didn't really have any, he really wasn't into the movie from everything that I was reading about it.
Okay.
And was always trying to change things.
Oh, okay.
He was always trying to get in there and do something to the point where he eventually was like, for 50% of the profits, he sold it all to RKO Studios, which severely limited his input. But because he was still making money off it, he thought he had still had a say in things. But essentially, when he sold everything off, Hitchcock took full control over the movie.
And who produced this? What was the name?
David O. Selznick.
Okay.
So, like, some of the things he wanted to do is he lobbied to replace Cary Grant, with Joseph Cotton.
No idea who that is.
It was another 1940s, 50s actor. He wanted to do it because he believed that Grant would be too difficult to work with and wanted...
That's wow.
Be too difficult to work with, and that he would make high salary demands. And from what I've been, just from my gleam from behind the scenes stuff, it seemed like Cary Grant had a reputation for being hard to work with.
I could definitely see that.
Except
was it egotistical stuff or just?
Except for on this movie is what I'm getting. No,
really.
Yeah. So like so that's what Selznick thought about that. Also, Grant wasn't available for 3 months, and because the U.S. had just dropped the atomic bombs on Japan,
Yeah, because this movie just came out, what, a year or two after the war ended?
what is it, 46? I think the war was still kind of going on. It was just ending.
Yeah, so it's like at the cusp of the end of the Great War too.
So, and Selznick argued that the first film about atomic weaponry that would come out would be the most successful, and Grant wasn't available for 3 months. So he wanted this other guy, Joseph Cotton. But the most telling thing of that really showed that he really wanted it is Selznick owned Cotton's contract.
Oh.
So he wanted his own guy as the lead, essentially, in this. But Hitchcock and RKO, the group that Selznick sold it to, invoked a clause in the project's sale contract which blocked Selznick's attempt from doing pretty much anything. So Grant was signed to play, and that was that.
No, not to paint this guy as a bad guy, obviously, he's Selznick. Because he might know what he's talking about, because I'm just looking through his credits. He's produced a lot of stuff. Some big things are the 1932 King Kong. Sorry, I'll go through his list. He did the 1932 King Kong. He also did a movie we're going to talk about at the box office. And Gone with the Wind, he helped produce. So he's been around.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going based off what I'm reading from this wiki.
Oh, of course, of course.
So this wiki doesn't do him any favors. Let's just say it that way.
No, yeah. For this production, he was a person. Yeah, so that's fair.
So at the same time that he was supposed to be making this movie, he was making an epic Western called Duel in the Sun.
That's the one I was going to talk about, yeah.
Which was having some major issues to the point where he put this movie on the back burner.
Wow.
So, like, he just did not prioritize this movie. He did not like Hitchcock's style. Like,
okay.
he was like one of the quotes was, he didn't like Hitchcock's jigsaw mentality for building this story and atmosphere and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
So he just really, at one point, he actually petitioned to have, what was it? There was a point where the script actually got rewritten by a writer because of him interfering and stuff like that. And, like, the writer went in and changed some things, and apparently Hitchcock used none of it. He was like, I'm not doing it.
That's awesome.
So,
who would know Hollywood drama have been lasting so long?
Yeah. There was something else that I wanted to point out in here. Hitchcock was just, every time they talk about it, it says Hitchcock was glad to be out from under Selznick's thumb. So that's in here a few times. Trying to find it. Oh, the music.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, Selznick didn't, because he had also produced Hitchcock's previous film Spellbound.
Okay.
And he was mad that no hit pop song had come out of that picture. So he was trying to get a big pop song into this movie too. But
I'm glad that didn't happen.
But the sale removed his decision making, so he didn't get anything like that. And the composer was glad to be out from under things. So yeah. So the quote I was doing is that I mentioned earlier was, sounds like deplored Hitchcock's goddamn jigsaw cutting the dreamlike jagged images that create his signature subjectivity. But the composer didn't mind the jigsaw cutting at all. It actually complemented his music score.
That's awesome.
So,
like, it's funny seeing and reading this kind of stuff because same things happen now. 60, 80 years later, however long it's been, just the same shit happens.
Yeah.
80 years, right? Wow.
Yeah, so it's just funny how much they fought over it, and it seems like this Selznick guy tried to get his own way, and just at every turn, Hitchcock's like, nope, not doing it.
I've got a vision. I'm gonna stick with it. Your shit sounds terrible. I like
it. But that's kind of the long thread through everything.
Okay.
Did you notice that Hitchcock had a cameo?
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
He usually has cameos in his shit. Where was he at? You know?
It was in the party.
Beginning party or the.
Later
party?
at the mansion, about an hour and 4 minutes, and he could see him drinking a glass of champagne.
I know it's funny you're saying this. I'm watching a movie right now. I had it on while I was waiting for you. I'm at an hour 3 right now. So
it says an hour 4:43.
Hour 4:43. I'm gonna skip that up 30 seconds. Give it a second. I'm curious now. I'm at hour 4:28.
Hitchcock's drinking the glass of champagne as Grant and Bergman approach.
Oh, man, I'm excited. Oh shit, he is. How did I not pick up on that? Wow. Yeah.
So
That's pretty cool, man.
anything?
Did you know that was him while you're watching it?
I didn't catch it.
Okay. It's like Stan Lee before Stan Lee. What?
I barely knew what Hitchcock looked like. So
you goddamn son of a bitch.
What else? Cinematography is well praised. We don't need to talk about the themes and motifs of the movie.
Are you sure?
Not really.
Oh, come on. Let's talk about them.
We can talk about it during the review.
God damn it, TJ.
This movie's got a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. It is one of only 9 films with a perfect Metacritic score. 2 of Hitchcock's other films, Vertigo and Rear Window, also have a perfect score. So.
Rear Window is a really good movie. I've not seen Vertigo yet.
Claude Rains was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Hetch was nominated for an Academy Award for Writing Original Screenplay. This film was also the movie chosen for the Cannes Film Festival, I believe.
I saw that earlier,
I don't know where that is in here, but I remember that off the top of my head.
It was in the top, I believe.
This movie was also... Where is it? Selected for preservation in the U.S. National Film Agency by the Library of Congress for being culturally, historical, and aesthetically significant. 2 more things I want to talk about. We don't normally talk about the adaptations of these things, but I thought it was interesting. This time, I mean, we don't need to talk about. There was a silent movie based on this, because this movie was based off of a Saturday Evening Post story.
Yes.
So there was also a silent film that did the same thing.
I was gonna make us watch that too, DJ. I was like, I don't feel like trying to dig and trying to find this damn thing. So you're lucky. You're lucky.
There was apparently a Lux Radio Theater adaptation that brought back the Ingrid Bergman as reprising her role as Alicia.
That's pretty cool.
So the film was also remade in 1992, apparently.
Oh, was it now?
It's directed by Colin Buxey and with John Shea as Devlin and Jenny Robertson as Alicia.
Well, I guess we're gonna watch that there for next week, huh?
We typed in the movie. That didn't even come up. I don't even know. So I don't even know. It must be some kind of like TV movie or something.
That's what it says, right? Doesn't it say it's made for TV, I believe? That's why I didn't pick it. There's some reason I didn't pick some of these.
Oh, as the TV film.
Yeah, that's why we didn't watch it. Yeah.
Another interesting thing was apparently Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Yes.
A season 2 episode, Senate Spy, has adapted this, which I watched that entire show. And I wouldn't have known it then when I watched it. So
nope.
And apparently Mission Impossible 2 had strong homages to Notorious, but I never seen that movie, so I couldn't tell you. And there was also an operatic adaptation, so it's got an opera towards it.
Which I read that, I was like, really? Huh.
And then finally, the behind the scenes stuff, there was a tribute to Hitchcock in 1979. Apparently, Cary Grant had taken the Unica key that was the prop from the wine cellar after filming. And then he kept that key. And then a few years later, he gave it to Ingrid Bergman, saying that it gave him luck and hope it would give it to her. And then at this tribute, she gave it to Hitchcock, expressing the same thing. So,
which is beautiful.
Which was a cute little nod.
Yeah.
That's it behind the scenes. I think I can also say that this movie made $4.85 million in theatrical rentals in the United States and Canada on its first release, making it one of the highest grossing films of the year, which I'm actually glad it did, considering just this smack that Selznick guy in the face. Over again.
Yeah, like, show you sons of bitches.
And then over at Seed, it earned another $2.3 million worldwide in rentals, making it so it made $7.15 million, generating RKO a profit of $1,010,000.
Nice.
In 1947, that's a lot of money.
Yes, sir. Since we're talking, are you done with your stuff, I guess?
Yep, go ahead.
So, since we're talking about money, the box office numbers are weird, obviously. So you just said all that. On the wiki, it says the budget for this movie was about $1 million. So I don't know if it's adjusting for inflation or whatever the case would be. The box office, I assume, again, adjusting for inflation and re-releases and all the other stuff they do. The Box office for this movie is $24.5 million, which on the website, thenumbers.com, does place this movie in the top 5 of that year. So we'll do the top 5, I guess, of 1946, just in case we revisit it later and talk about other stuff. So, at number 5 in 1946, can you guess the movie, TJ? I'm assuming you were a child back then.
I couldn't tell you for the life of me. Casablanca.
No, great movie though, by the way. But no, you will know at least one of these titles. Well, okay, now you will know at least 2 of these titles in the top 5, not including Notorious. So at number 5, we have a movie called The Jolson Story. This movie made $19 million, assuming just for inflation, yada yada yada. This movie, The Jolson Story.
It's about Jolson?
Yes, actually. This movie shows the idolized career of the singer Al Jolson.
Oh.
Whoever the hell that is.
Oh.
A little Jewish boy who goes against the will of his father in order to be in showbiz.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of film to me in 1947, because it feels like things like, I know music's been around forever, but like singers and stuff are only like, feels like it's only been around for like 20 years at that point, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's art, man. You know, it's always theater. It's always going to be the forefront.
Yeah, I know, but it's almost like in today's standard, a movie like that about Michael Jackson or something like that. You know what I mean?
Which does popular, does really well.
Well, I'm not saying though. It just feels like it feels like all that stuff was just starting in that time frame. And
That's
it's weird
that
they have that kind of movie in it. Like it would make more sense if it was like a biopic pick about like a Shakespearean actor or something, doing theater or something more along the lines.
Again, like there's that, but it's also the undertone of him being Jewish. He marries a non-Jewish. He falls in love with a non-Jewish dancer and marries her, and the end shoots a success on the stage. And when you'll see the theme for these 5 movies in the top box office, they're mostly about the war. Yeah. So he's Jewish, he's not. The other ones are like war. Sad, isn't it? So it makes sense why this would be a thing. And like, you know, writers write what they know, and apparently it's show business. At number 4 is the movie we talked about earlier, Duel in the Sun.
Oh, that's the Western. Okay.
Yeah, made 20.
I only know about that because I read this wiki.
Exactly. It made $20.4 million, again, adjusting. And I was looking at the Wikipedia, not the Wikipedia, I opened up my IMDb. I already have it on my list for later, which I did not know. So, wow, I'm a hipster.
Apparently that movie had a lot of difficulties, so I'm actually wondering how it turned out.
It looks interesting. It's because it's beautiful. Okay, I asked you about the word earlier. So, beautiful biracial Pearl Chavez becomes the ward of her dead father's first love and finds herself torn between 2 brothers, one good and the other bad. And it's like, this seems interesting. This seems like a fun, cool story to look at. It's 2 hours long, so I was like, that's kind of dreadful, but I don't know, sounds nice.
Okay.
Next. At number 3, we have The Best Years of Our Lives. That made $23.6 million.
That's a very generic movie title.
It's a very generic movie. It's in my list already as well. This movie's 2 hours and 50 minutes long.
I don't know what that one is. Never even heard of it.
What?
Best Years of Our Lives.
Apparently I did hear of it, and it's about this. These World War II veterans, these World War II veterans, 2 of them traumatized or disabled, return home to the American Midwest to discover that they and their families have been irreparably changed.
If you say so.
Yep, that's what it's. Yep, exactly. Just 3-hour schlockfest of bullshit. Number 2, we have Notorious. That made $24.4 million. And can you guess this movie that is at number 1, TJ?
Told you I couldn't. I said Casablanca.
Well, I'll give you this. That fucking devil mouse controlled this one.
1946?
Yes, it's not fully animated. It's half animated.
Half animated. Oh, shit. See, Snow White was 30s, so Mary Poppins.
No. This probably is problematic nowadays.
Oh, Song of the South?
Yes, with $49.5 million. Doubled what this movie made. Song of the South tops the box office.
Jesus, Disney was in the top of the box office in the 40s?
Disney has always been our redeemer. The kindly storyteller, Uncle Remus, tells a young boy stories about trickster Brer Rabbit, who outwits Brer Fox and slow-witted Brer Bear.
We should cover that one day.
I would love to, honestly.
Yeah,
I've
we
never
should
seen it.
do
I've
it.
always wanted to see it. And it's only an hour and a half. We could easily cover that, and I don't think I would regret it.
No, let's do it one day because it seems like something, it's so like despised nowadays.
For no reason. I mean, I get it, but like, product of the time, guys. What do you expect? And I'm black saying this.
Yeah. So I'm curious how that movie actually holds up in comparison to today's modern standards.
Yes. We should probably watch that for episode 200. We're only 70 away from that, right?
Yeah, I mean, we can cover it whenever. We've kind of been doing whatever we want anyway. So.
That is very true. That's very true.
We kind of broke. That's why it's called genre from the beginning sometimes. So
yes, we're kind of getting burnt out on other stuff, and we're coming near an end to that.
Yeah, that's true too.
Anyways, but yeah, that's the 1946 top 5. I told you we knew at least one of those things.
I only knew any of those things because of the wiki page and because I had to watch this movie.
And because you're racist. No,
and Song of the South. That's right.
Yeah, Song of the South.
That's because I like Disney. I've seen every Disney movie.
I think everyone knows Song of the South, whether they've seen it or not. They should at least know. Oh, that movie.
Well, I don't want to say I've seen every Disney movie. I've seen every animated Disney movie.
That's fair because they own a lot of properties now, so I don't think you could see all other stuff.
I definitely haven't seen all their live action stuff even before they both start buying everything up. So,
anything else behind the scenes? You have the DVD? You have any trailers or?
No, I don't have any of this.
Did you have DVD for this, or did you watch it the way I watched it?
I watched the way you watch it. I didn't know we were watching this until last week.
Well, actually, I watched this on a website called Tubi. Tubi,
oh.
T-U-B-I. They had it.
Tubi's free, isn't it?
Yeah, it's free. It has some ads on it, obviously, but I watched it the other night with my sister. I was like, this is a good movie. They have a lot of old stuff on here, actually.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of this, what is it? We're 80 years in now, right?
Yes, so it should be not the main, but...
Yeah. I think a lot of it might be public domain stuff.
Probably. Like, I'm looking at it right now. Well, they have Superman the movie on here. They have the one with Christopher Reeves. They have The Thing from Another World. They had It Came From Beneath the Sea. They have... Oh, Godzilla.
Because I think... I know because of Disney's garbage that like copyrights and stuff got extended to like 99 years or some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
But originally, I think it was only like 70 something years.
It was something really reasonable.
70 years copyright before it hit public domain. But I don't think unless the actual copyright owners like petition to keep their work like that, I think it all falls into public domain. But I don't know now. I was going to say Batman. Because Batman should be falling into domain coming up, but that was
soon,
1937.
Right? I know Winnie the Pooh just did, right?
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh just did. I don't know.
Only the version with about the pants or something.
Yeah, it's all the Winnie the Pooh characters except for Tigger just went into.
Yeah. And again, on Tubi, I'm not sponsored in any means necessary, but they do have a lot of like newer stuff and just 90s, 80s, 2000 stuff on here. Like John McSeary comes on and off.
They're also a streaming service, so they buy rights and stuff too. So
yeah, but like they have good stuff. Castaway. I'm going through it right now. They have Castaway, they have Batman Forever. They have lots of stuff on here. Was that like Batman Forever? Which one's that one? Is that Val Kilmer?
That's
the one I like in that series.
That's Val Kilmer. Yes, you're ridiculous.
I said then I think he's the best of those guys. He's the best Batman. I'm just saying. No. Just saying. I said it, then I say it. No, I still stand by it.
You're wrong.
I think Michael Keaton's okay, but I think Michael Keaton just playing Michael Keaton. Val Kilmer actually gave a shit, I feel, or try to act. Anyways, we're not doing comic book movies today, TJ.
We're not doing comic book movies, Marcus.
So yeah, he had nothing to talk about. I had nothing else to talk about. Let's just get into the review, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, they have the monsters on here. Wow. So I was just going through liking stuff so I can feed my algorithm. Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed. Bring it on, TJ. Did you know that movie series? Bring it on. Still makes movies, apparently. Okay. So, are you there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so ready to jump into this movie?
Yep.
Okay. Let's do this. Should I ask you, did you have a question, or do you want to wait till we get to it?
We can start the review.
Okay. Okay, I'll say this.
Well, we always open with how the movie starts, though.
Yeah, okay. So the movie starts off right up at a court sequence. So the main character, her name, or I guess the main female character, who's, what's her name again in this movie? Alice?
Alicia.
So her father... this is at the end of the World War II, right? I believe. And her father is a German war criminal, whatever, spy, whatever. He's just been convicted in American courts. So now she's got to be like watched over by FBI, CIA.
I forgot one behind the scenes thing.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Where is it? Okay, so there was this, they changed the original story. One of the changes to the original story that Hitchcock did was to add the MacGuffin of a cache of uranium, which is kind of the plot of this.
Oh, okay.
Selznick was really bothered by that. He didn't like the MacGuffin and didn't understand that part of it, but that's not what I wanted to get. Reason why I brought it up.
Yeah.
At that time, it was not common knowledge that uranium was being used in the development of atomic bombs, and Selznick had trouble understanding the use of it as a plot device. That's why he had it. But the interesting thing is, Hitchcock later claimed he was being followed by the FBI for several months after he and Hatch discussed uranium with Robert Millikan at Caltech in mid-1945.
So, wow. So did he just go to someone, ask him, like, so how would you make a thing? Or it's just...
It seems like that. He asked Robert Millikan, who was an experimental physicist who won the Nobel Prize.
Okay.
So it was like he was probably talking to him about how it was. So Hitchcock claimed the FBI was following him for several months because of this discussion about uranium. But then, after the event of Hiroshima on August 6th of 1945, the released details of the Manhattan Project removed any doubts about the uranium's use about it. So
after they dropped the bomb and released did they release the Manhattan Project details on purpose, or was it leaked out?
I believe it was after they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima. They were like, "This is everything that how it worked and why this is." Why we did it, just because they just dropped a nuclear bomb on Japan. So
we did a heinous thing and murked a lot of people for good reasons, kind of. But
here's not really. Nah, honestly, if you look, everyone like Pearl Harbor was terrible, but we provoked Japan into it. If you read the history, so we're not exactly 100% clear. So it's like, when you're freaking blockading supplies and stuff to Japan, when you're in a war against a world war, essentially, you push Tibet guys to the other side, they're going to do something in retaliation. So
yeah, who would have thought this would have become political, right?
Again, I'm not justifying Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor.
Of course not.
But if you look at like some of the things, all those raids that we did on Japan, we're not exactly angels in that situation.
But it's war. You got to do the things that you better and everyone justify yourselves with, guys.
That's the excuse that we've been going with even to this day.
Yeah, whatever helps you sleep at night, right, guys? So yes, the main character, Alicia, her dad is convicted of war crimes as a German spy, espionage person, I believe. So he just takes his life. She'll find that out later, but he takes his life while in prison, I guess. And
no, he chews on a poison capsule.
Was he in like prison or is he in holding at that point? Wherever he's at,
he's in poison.
He's off screen. We never see the guy anyways.
He poison capsules himself because that's what Germans did, and apparently that's what Nazis do.
Yeah. She is kind of on house arrest, but she's just being watched by FBI.
They never say.
Whatever the government title this guy has, and the guy, her babysitter is going to be Cary Grant's character, Delvin. And so the first act is just I'll be honest, I enjoyed this movie overall, but the first 30 minutes, the first X amount of time in this movie, I was like not into it. I had to really adjust my headspace to like 1946.
So here's my. I'm going to have an unpopular opinion about this movie.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm glad the movie made money just despite that Johnson guy.
Yeah.
But nothing happens in this movie.
No. Yes.
This movie, nothing happens. It's just like, even like the big climactic moment in this movie is them walking down a set of stairs and out a door. It's like, it's all just talking.
Yes.
And
but that's also that's what happens back then usually.
Yeah, I know, but like
the movies
and all talking is fine, But a lot of the times when they're talking, especially Alicia, and not nothing against her or the acting or anything, but like her dialogue is like telling us how Cary Grant's character is doing things,
Yes.
but they're not showing us anything. It's like you're like
Yes.
doing this. It's like, when did he ever do anything like that? It's a lot of just like telling me how these people are feeling, and showing me nothing. And it's just like, okay. And then like this movie's an hour and 40 minutes, but I won't lie and say it felt like it doesn't feel like an hour and 40 minutes. It felt much shorter than that, but that's because nothing happens.
See, I'm agreeing for everything you're saying so far, but it felt longer than an hour 42 to me. It's like, it feels like a sequence in a Mission Impossible or a James Bond movie.
That's exactly
this
what
all
it
this
is.
could have been is just like an act.
This is like, I was like, I've seen this entire story in one scene.
Yes.
And it's like,
you say, let's see, I'm on the IMDb. Let's read the description to this movie real quick. So the description of this movie is: the daughter of a convicted spy is asked by American agents to gather information of a ring of Nazi scientists in South America. How far will she have to go to integrate herself with them? Who knows? That's the thing. And it sounds amazing, like a action-packed spy thriller. And that's what I kind of went in my mindset with.
This is literally one mission.
Yes.
And they don't do anything. And I was actually a little impressed that she was pretty much the star of this movie. She's like got the most screen time, and she's like, but at the same time, they fall into, and I know it's time period and stuff, but like the sexist roles that the women have in that time. She's a damsel in distress. She can't help herself. Sure, she's and anything that she would be deemed like as positive traits, they make it seem like bad traits, like, oh, she's manipulative and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they, as they're saying, that's a plus for the Americans that are using her and putting her life on the line in order to do this. They're also criticizing her for those same actions.
Yes.
And it's just like,
but
and
they may be criticizing her, but like, I don't see
hold on. There's also the casual domestic violence stuff in the beginning, and
1946 stuff. But like,
I know
they may be criticizing throughout her for doing all that stuff, but she is still a strong character. Like, she is still confident. Yeah. She's the victim overall in this story from beginning to end.
She is a strong character despite the writing.
Yes, despite the writing. Yes, despite how the actor or the characters treat her, etc.
And I think it's because she's got so much. Oh, frig! I forgot some more behind the scenes stuff.
Okay, continue. We can say them.
So like I was talking about Cary Grant earlier.
Yeah. And
how they made him not to be this
John McQueen kind of, or stubborn.
But they were, what's her name? Ingrid Bergman was having trouble with like being insecure on set and stuff like that, and apparently they were surprised when he helped her on screen and like helped her through everything. And like he really, and they spouted a years-long friendship from this movie, and like he was apparently really nice to her and helped her out and everything.
Yeah, really go.
So there was also a where is it? How did they put it? There was two, how it's worded in the crib. There were two passionate turmoils going on set, as both served to inform the final product. Hitchcock was apparently had a growing infatuation with Bergman. I don't think it's the way. I don't think it's the way that the sentence makes it sound.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Just like a director, like being like infatuated, like an art, like
right, because
good at what she does, whatever.
Because apparently he did something he never did, and kind of brought her in on the decision making progress.
Oh wow.
And like there's a quote here where Ingrid is like, this girl is wrong, what she's doing here is wrong, and like the set went quiet, and like because Hitchcock's not known from taking like direction from his actors, and it's his way or nothing.
Yeah.
And then they were all astonished when he says, "I think you're right, Ingrid," and they went with her ideas. So
that's awesome.
Then there was apparently she had a torturous affair with Robert Capa, the celebrity battlefield photographer.
Okay.
So I don't. That's all they mentioned about it.
Yeah.
But so that was, so I don't know anything more about that, but apparently that was going on the scenes too.
Okay. Is that it?
I was reading something.
Okay. But overall, I do generally agree with you. Like, it's a lot of talking and a lot of tell us how you guys feel, how the characters feel, instead of just doing the things.
Yeah.
If it's not one of his earlier, I was going through his IMDb, Hitchcock, he has a lot of more movies and shows and things he did before this, but it does still feel like one of his earlier stuff.
No,
Although
but
it's competently made. It's really still.
it's funny that you bring that, because this is considered to be by critics and scholars as Hitchcock's watershed artistically.
Yes.
And to represent his heightened thematical maturity, they say.
I didn't get it. It felt like still like big. And again, maybe 1946 it was. Maybe this was revolutionary, mature shit.
Well,
but it feels like nowadays this is how film students would make stuff. So
and also, it's like they were like
80-year difference right here.
This was Hitchcock's first attempt, and he was apparently 46 at the time.
Yes,
to bring his talents to the creation of a serious love story.
Yes,
and it's the story of two men in love with Ingrid Bergman, who can only have been made at this stage of his life. I'm like, okay, I mean, I could have wrote this story as a teenager, but whatever.
But again, maybe at the time, who knows? But it does feel like just film scholars like praising Hitchcock for being just okay at some.
This feels like they're praising him for going against what he normally does.
Yeah.
And it's like his normal stuff is garbage, but this is like
he usually makes D-list sci-fi movies, but this
is
well made.
That's what it felt like, and it's like, and I'm just watching this movie, and it's like, this has got a perfect score on Metacritic. Am I missing something here? I don't understand why this movie is so beloved, and like, I guess it's just because of maybe it was the first of its kind.
That like I can see how Mission Impossible and James Bond have taken inspiration from this. If that's the case, I can definitely see that. Because, okay, so she is enlisted by the FBI or whoever. Like, she's enlisted by some American society service to like go spy on these Germans for us to clear yourself and get yourself free from us. She does it. She falls in love with her mentor, Delvin. But now she's got to.
Here's like, this movie tries to be suspenseful, and I get it.
It does try, doesn't hit it.
But I didn't get it because like they talk about assassinations, like people are getting killed and like things are going to something, but we don't see any of it. Like there's no violence on screen. Not that I need it, but like you're alluding to all this stuff, but we don't see any of it. Like the only thing we see in this movie is her getting poisoned, and that's her drinking from a coffee cup.
Yeah, I think. Well, when was the Hays Code a thing? When I don't think there had to be like reasons why this movie is the way it is, and I truly am talking of the time period restrictions and stuff. Just because.
I didn't get it. It was because it was because it was restricted anyway. My read on it, but hold on, Hays Code.
Because maybe not the Hays Code. I don't think so. But I get your. Because I was expecting like when like the one Nazi goes missing, whoever his name was, I expected them to like.
I mean, the Hays Code was the self-imposed industry set of guidelines for all motion pictures that were released between 1934 and 1968. So it would have been in the
right in the middle of it.
The code prohibited really profanity.
Yep. Profanity, any kind of sexual tension, or people sharing the bed.
Suggestive nudity, graphic or realistic violence, sexual persuasion, and rape. That does explain why, like, yes. And I just brushed this off because it was 1940s. Why did married couple were in separate beds?
Yep.
But
it literally, it's really ridiculous. Like, there's a famous shot Hitchcock did, and I think Psycho or one of these films where he shows a flushing toilet. That was against Hays Code. You can't show a flushing toilet. So there was very restrictive on shit. It was like the dumb your comic stuff you guys had back in the day.
That was the Comic Code Authority.
Yes, it was that ludicrous. So explains why this movie is very G.
Very G, yeah.
Yes.
That does, now that I see it, that does it, but that's not what I took from it. Because all that it makes sense that all of that's on screen, but it also felt like this was very simplistic storytelling.
But it had to be because of Hays Code, right? You can't, especially, and also because it came out right after or near the end of World War II. People are probably very sensitive. You can't be like too provocative.
But like at the same time, like I've also been reading westerns from that time period, like the 50s, so it would be during the same period, and even the storytelling in that is very simplistic, and I don't think novels had any kind of code to them.
Maybe so. But also like Hollywood's doing stuff, so the novels probably have to follow a certain trend to keep people engaged. Because if a novel goes too far, people will be like, "Oh, this is smut," or "This is just X-rated, gruesome shit for it to be X-rated, edgy stuff." So maybe it's like, well, there's a standard, so we kind of have to be around that standard to sell shit.
I guess. I don't know.
It's all stupid. Because everything you're saying, I agree with. I truly agree with. Like, this movie is very tame. Like,
all right, good.
No, you can say your thing.
No, I was gonna change the subject, so finish your thought.
Oh, that was it. That's what I was gonna say.
So now on to my big question here. How is this a noir movie? What? I don't understand. I don't understand. This is a spy movie.
Yes.
At best. What? I don't understand. I don't think that there is a such thing as a noir movie. I don't understand because every time we look at something and it says this is a noir movie, and we were like, that's not a noir movie. Yeah. So we look up noir movies on scene because we wanted to do a noir movie for this week, and it was like, oh, this is a noir movie. Why is this a noir movie?
I was thinking that while I was watching it, like, where's the noir aspect to this? Where is the typical detective trying to solve a bullshit murder? Where's the thing at?
I'm starting to believe there is no such thing as noir.
No, there is. There has to be. Because everyone who ever, like, parodies the noir parodies a certain thing.
I understand that, but where is it? Where is it? Because everything I keep looking at keeps showing me something that says it's noir, but it's not. Well, no, but it's not.
Maybe it's such one of those vague descriptions of stuff.
I don't know. Look, here's the definition of noir: a genre of crime film or fictional characterized by cynicism, fatalism, and moral ambiguity. This his film proved that a brick could be noir, dark, and as the sentence thing. So
I guess this kind of fits it.
But that's like,
I know.
This is a spy film.
It's like saying any spy films are noir at that point.
Yeah,
because there's all ambiguity and like it's like saying all the Mission Impossibles are noirs. So I don't know, TJ. I thought this was going to be a noir. I was thinking to myself, it's like, where's the noir shit to this?
To be fair to you, it says spy noir film.
Yeah.
So it's just like I don't. I'm failing to understand. Maybe we were right when we were defining it earlier. Maybe you need like monologue and inner monologues and stuff to make it a noir film, because it's the only thing that makes sense at this point.
Because at this point, the only noir film I've ever seen that I could think is a noir is probably Sin City, and
right, and that's a comic book
exactly.
movie.
So like, where's the noir shit, guys? I don't know. I was lost too. I was like, I'm glad you brought that up because I totally forgot this wasn't noir, quote unquote noir.
Yeah, this is why we covered it. I'm like, why? Like, this is fine for what it is. I don't get the hype for it, but whatever. But I don't see, this is not a noir film. Not to me, anyway.
No. Like I said, it's a spy thriller at best.
I say spy thriller in quotation marks.
Yes.
So, man. Literally, the big climactic ending is he breaks into the manor. Well, he shows up to the manor. For some reason, all the bad guys are in separate rooms, so they can't see him. They just leave him unattended. He walks up the steps. He talks to the girl. She tells him she was poisoned. She walks him to the steps. The bad guy comes up the steps and says, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm walking out, and I'm going to tell your friends over there that she's an American spy." And then they slowly walk down the steps, out the door. They get in a car. He locks the door so the guy can't come in. Cary Grant drives away with Ingram, and then the German goes back in the house as I guess to get killed by the other German spies.
And I like it. It works because I think what you said is technically right, but like there's more weight to that because the German spies, they're spies. The Germans, they're trying to keep control of the uranium and all that shit, and like her husband, if they find out he let a spy into the organization, they're gonna kill him. So he doesn't want them knowing that. And so when Cary Grant takes Ingrid out, he threatens that. It's great. It's heavy. It's levity to it.
I actually disagree only because the way the mother and the way the bad guy was walking behind him and how she was leaning up against him the entire time when she's supposed to be the other guy's wife made no sense. Why the Germans are like, what's happening here? This is like, what's happening?
It does make sense because her husband at the time, the Stevenson, whatever his name is, his mother kept her there sick. And so he comes in, takes her out, So like the Germans are seeing like, why is this guy taking her out? Because she's clearly sick. So he's doing the right thing. And they're like putting two and two. The Germans are slowly putting two and two together. The other guy's trying to keep it cool. Like, well, maybe they're not gonna put it together. Maybe they're dumber than I expect. And so, like, I think it works. I enjoyed this. Like again, from the first 30, after the first 30 minutes, I just was kind of out of it. But
It felt like as a scene by itself.
Yes,
it works.
Yes,
I get it. But like the entire movie, nothing happened.
Yes, I agree.
And this felt like a culmination of nothing happening, especially since Cary Grant's character has done nothing this entire movie as well. He's pretty much just talked to the girl and said, and just like made her sad.
He's there to make intrigue. I feel like his character is what usually the female characters are, is to like, he's the femme fatale essentially, while she's actually the main character. So let's kind of reversed. So he's gonna sit there and look pretty while she's now compromised and like have feelings for him. And there's a lot of that going on.
But like usually in that situation, the femme fatale doesn't end up being the hero in the end.
But they do help out a lot in a sense. Sometimes they'll...
Yeah, but in this, the main character doesn't end up the damsel in distress that needs to be rescued.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
So it's sure it would work if the roles were completely reversed, but they only half do it, and then a culmination of nothing happening and then nothing more happening, and then we have to just ambiguously think, oh, I guess he's gonna get killed by the Germans there. It's just like, it just left a sour taste in my mouth, and I was like, this is stupid.
You're not wrong, because I truly believe it's our 2020 plus brains thinking and seeing this, because I think other filmmakers have seen this movie and like, this is a great sequence, this is a great act, but as a movie overall, it could have been more, and that's why I feel we've seen this in the Bond movies and any other spy thriller, because this whole story is literally, like you said, just a 10-minute part of a whole movie. You could have yada through this way quicker and got more out of it, but I just think 1946, other restrictions, just post-war, this is a pretty damn well-made movie.
I just feel like there should have been a different climax.
Like what? Like I know you want to go grand probably with this, or like more.
No, you don't even need to go grand. You could go simpler with it. It's just the idea of him just walking out with the girl.
It seems ridiculous from our present day perspective. It does. Like, I agree with you on this.
It just seems like, I mean,
it's like, weird.
If from this perspective, the Germans are getting suspicious, right?
Yes.
So if they're suspicious and they're as ruthless as they are
they ruthless?
Walk out the door.
Do they say? I don't know if they say they're ruthless. I know they're spies. They don't seem ruthless. They may have killed a guy off screen.
They literally killed one guy because he misspoke.
Yes.
That's ruthless.
Okay.
That's what they're like saying, oh, they're going to kill me if I reveal this because they accept nothing. That's ruthlessness.
Yeah.
That they're these evil German Nazis.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
And these even ruthless Nazis. See that, and sure, they will kill him if they find out that she's an American spy, right?
Yes.
They also don't let the American spy escape either, no.
But also, if they kill her or keep her, hell, they'd probably are thinking, shit, she's a spy. The government clearly aware of us. If we keep her or kill her, they're going to get us because they now know about us and are aware about us. They don't know how much they know about us. That's
not the impression that I got. I got the impression that they were like, this is suspicious. We'll just talk to him afterwards. You know what I mean? It's just
I get that.
It doesn't, and they weren't built up enough to really like make them feel like a threat to like one out of nowhere. He says, "Oh, she's American spies. They're gonna kill me if they, after one thing." And it's just like, really? Wait, aren't you supposed to be the leader of this? Because that's the impression that I got. They're always at his house.
Yeah. No, I everything you're saying, I completely agree with. I just see it like, I just see probably why they had to be the way that it was made.
I honestly think it would probably be better if she was like being poisoned and she managed to escape herself and got word to Cary Grant, and then they came back and like arrested him. Would have been a better thing.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not suspense, though. The suspense is what we saw. Well, there was suspense there. That's Hitchcock's thing.
The suspense part of it is her escaping from the manor with all these Nazis around.
That could have been suspenseful, yeah.
Yeah, there's your suspenseful moment, and then you have like a 2-minute wrap up because all these movies just seem to end out of nowhere. Like we get no cleanup from his movie. Cary Grant drives away, and the credits.
Which I kind of mess with. I like with that. I like that. It's just, okay, now it ends. Like, oh, wait, that's it?
But, like, that was a trend. Like, even, like, all the novels that I've been reading all end that way. It's like, all right, story's done. We don't need to clean up anything. Bye.
I appreciate that, though.
But, like, it just felt like nothing happened, and then they walk out the door.
Yes, but I just think and I agree. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Like, well, that was a movie, I guess, but I think it's just because 2020 brain of ours is like,
And that's where I go back to like,
where's the pew pew explosions and where's
I
all
don't
the
even need- I
where's
didn't
the
need-
snapping necks and
I don't need
punching a
any of
German
the
in the face kind of shit.
I didn't need any action. I just needed a complexity to the characters, and everything was so simply written.
Very simple.
And so, and like you said, 2020 brain. A lot of the good stories today are complex.
Yes,
and there's just no complexity to the story.
No,
and especially since they're telling us how everybody's feeling and doing, and it's like
it's a stage play. We're watching a stage play in motion, like, and that's what it was back then.
So I don't know. I just don't get it, I guess.
No, like you're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's fun. That's great about it.
I respect it for what it apparently did for stories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like objectively, I just don't see how this is as remarkable as people say it is.
Real, I understand that. I understand. Well, look, okay. Again, going back to the box office I just read, and that's why I tried to read the box office, because comparing it to what Song of the South, other 3-hour-long war movies and crap that we don't even heard of, I get why this did well just post or nearing the end of World War II. So it makes sense to me.
Like, I'm not saying, like I said, I'm glad it made it the money it made. It's fine for what it is. And apparently they didn't have much competition next
No.
year. So I'm not knocking it for making money. That's great that it made money. I just don't think it is like a perfect movie. Like,
oh no, not at all.
I don't think it deserves a 100% on Metacritic. I don't think it's a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, 97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, you can't. Again, that shit's stupid anyways.
Yeah, I know, but like,
that's going to cloud your judgment on shit for sure.
I'm just saying that seems to be the general consensus that this movie is getting.
But I understand why it gets it. I don't agree with it either, but I understand why people would think that. I truly think the movies I've seen of his so far, he's got better movies and more things I like.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, people nowadays, if you're like a critic and a movie's in black and white, it automatically scores points for some reason.
Not all. I mean, if it's black and white and has a name, people all agree that's good.
Yeah,
like this. Yeah, this is a movie everyone agrees is good, and it's black and white, so there's going to be like,
it's kind of colored. It's kind of colored by the prestige that it has.
I agree.
And if you take away the prestige and just look at it from an objective angle where nothing really happens and it tells you everything that it's doing, it's not that great of a movie.
I just have to disagree, just because, again, it's like saying that with if we go into a Song in the South and like, this movie's fucking racist and hippity happity, like, guys, product of the time, and we give it a 2 because it's racist, like, and not seeing that came out in 1946.
No, but
it's like the same judge, like, yeah, nothing happens in this movie, but nothing happened in a lot of movies back then, and it's just like,
but that's not a fair judgment. A product of a time, sure, nothing happens in this movie, but if you look at freaking a movie that was released 2 decades earlier, a lot of things happen in King Kong.
Well, also that relies heavily on, that's a big monkey. This is people are talking. It's two drastically different things.
But like I'm saying, you can make a movie like this, a spy movie like this, that things happen.
Yes,
and get a better result. Is all I'm saying. If you look at it objectively, without coloring in it, I'm sure there are spy movies at this time.
Okay, I agree. But when was the Hague Codes first started? When that start? 1930 what?
1936.
And King Kong was 1932. 4 years before Hays Code. So this movie came out right in the middle of Hays Code. So a lot of stupid fucking restrictions. King Kong didn't have the Hays Code restricting it on shit.
I would argue.
Yeah.
Freaking Snow White had stuff happening.
It's animated though.
Pinocchio has stuff in it. Yeah. Stuff happens in it. Yeah, you know what I mean?
And that's fair. That's fair. But it's also colorful and kiddie stuff. Whereas adult subject stuff like this has to be like,
adult subject stuff can have complex characters. You can make your characters complex without having to show sexual things or profanity.
I can't say these characters are complex. They're not complex, I feel, but they have conflict.
They're one note though. They like have their one thing, and then they overcome that one thing.
Yeah, we have the thing we like, and there's a little hurdle in front of us, and they kind of get over the hurdle, or they trip over that small hurdle. I can agree with that. But I think maybe it's just, again, one of Hitchcock's first good ones, I guess. So maybe this is why it's the way it is.
I don't think that's true at all.
What?
One of his first good ones.
By critic standards, or however they're fucking judging it. Whatever they're saying.
Yeah, but like
it's his
said,
first. Okay, this is what Hitchcock make Hitchcock, I guess.
And it's also colored. Like Hitchcock's only does these kinds of strange movies, and those strange movies are bad. So this one's good in comparison. He should only make these movies from now on. And I get that feeling too. And it's like, fuck you.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And I just don't.
You're not wrong. Like you're saying mostly things I agree with. I get why this movie it is. But you're not wrong. I'm not even arguing to argue. I definitely get where you're coming from. Like, when did Casablanca come out? Because that one I feel has more depth to it. And,
I can find out.
Yeah. I think it might have been before this.
Probably. I'm going to say 30s. Casablanca.
42.
Yeah. That was during the Hays Code.
Yeah, and it was leagues better. I give Casablanca a 9 out of 10. It's just such a good movie.
Freaking Gone with the Wind, 1940.
But see, that's one of those movies we were saying earlier where it has like a high standard in critics' eyes. If you watch it nowadays, I hear a lot of people say, it's a movie. Don't know why it's a 9 out of 10 for people, but that's like a lot of people say it's like a 3, 4, 10 out of 10. So just going from what I've seen, I think Casablanca for sure is like a prestige movie.
Let's see. I watched popular movies of the 40s.
And Casablanca is kind of a spy-y thriller-ish movie. Nazis are involved, World War II, yada yada yada. So I agree, TJ, because Casablanca is what this movie should have strived to be. You're definitely not wrong what you're saying. And maybe I'm just being really nice to this film.
It's possible.
Who knows?
That film artsy side of you coming out.
I hope not, because I'm not like Hitchcock's Hitchcock. I don't care for him either way. I do respect him for doing what he did, but I'm not a fanboy of him. That's why I've never seen all his movies yet. But like, this is not terrible.
I'm not saying it's terrible.
I know.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It just feels like it's a scene. It feels like 3:10 to Human. It's a scene stretched into a movie.
It does. It feels like some short story. Like, we can make a movie out of that.
Yeah. And you know what? It probably was a short story.
It was, you son of a bitch. Oh, shit. Like, that'd be interesting. Let's make a movie out of this. Oh, they probably just found someone's diary in the entry. Like, we could do something with this.
Well, no, I told you it was adapted from something from some magazine or something.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It feels like it.
So, yeah. So, like, it's probably a short story. Let's see. It was the silent film Convoy Coperus was based on the same Saturday Evening Post story.
You know, it's telling because the fact that Star Wars animated show can make this into an episode makes sense.
In 20 minutes?
Yes, it makes sense. It makes sense. I was thinking, like, this movie does scream. It could be easily remade. It could be done better, obviously.
Yeah, it was based off of a short story, a 2-part story in the Saturday Evening Post. Okay. So I don't know what that turns out to be.
4 pages, probably. Who knows? I doubt it's more than 2 pages each time, right?
But I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, I don't know how we got there. What we're talking about? It's just that you were saying the movie was okay, but could have been better, right?
Yeah.
I agree. So okay, with everything we just said, then. So how do you feel? What would you rate this then?
I want to give it a 5.
Wow, TJ. That's very not cool of you, because.
But I think I'll be nice and I'll give it a 6.
No. Don't be nice. Why a 5 or a 6? Wherever you're going to land on. Why that?
Well, because it's a nothing story, but it held my attention. Like, I didn't feel the hour 40.
That's fair.
I was into it at parts.
Now,
but
I was gonna say, could you watch it again? Could you recommend it to make it a 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10? That's how I feel more than a 5 is. Like, a 5 is a movie. I think a 6 is something you start recommending to people. Like, could you recommend this to people? And like, you can watch it.
I can recommend it to some people.
Okay.
Like, I can recommend it to people who like Hitchcock.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because if you're into Hitchcock, you're gonna want to see what he can do other than what he does. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I could see people who are into old movies and the old pacing and the like black and white genre of movies that would like this movie.
Okay.
So if but like a regular person, no.
Yeah. Okay, for me, I started this review at a 7. But the more we talked about it, and I'm glad we were on the same page for most of it, you did help persuade me down to a 5. I'm at a 5 out of 10.
Yay, 5?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm at a 5 too. I just felt like I should give it a 6 for some reason. I don't know.
Because you want to be nice too, because it's not bad. And it's completely made, but like everything you said, 100%. It's just empty. It's shallow. It's flat. It's a good introductory film for people who want to see older stuff. It won't offend anybody. It won't make you feel stupid. It'll make you feel smart if you want to feel that way. I felt the hour 42. Like I told you, it felt longer than that for me. I was like, God, just get to the point. Maybe because I was like so tired by the time we got to the third act. I was just hurry the fuck up.
I felt it in the beginning, that first 30 minutes or so. I was like, I looked at the clock. I was like, how much long? Jeez, I got an hour left.
Yeah.
But after we got into the proper story, it didn't feel like it. But because I was always expecting something to happen. I think that was the problem.
Same. It's like I was like, okay, where's the noir stuff kick in? Where's the thriller? Where's the spy stuff? Like, oh, we're just this is it. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like,
I don't think I could recommend this to anyone, even a Hitchcock film person, because since so much of nothing happens in this, I would recommend any other film I've seen of his over this any day. The Birds, The Rope, Rear Window. Like,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I've only seen 3 movies of his.
Same. I've seen only a small handful. In each of those movies, I liked more than this.
And like, I remember vaguely The Birds. Like, and I must have saw it when I was real little.
Yeah.
Because I only remember the telephone booth scene.
Same.
That's the only thing I remember of that movie. So that movie could be garbage for all I remember.
Of the other films he has done, I've seen, I'd recommend this over this any day.
Yeah, I don't have enough experience with his filmography to be able to say, like, if you're into Hitchcock, don't watch this movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's like kind of like that's why I was where I was at with.
And that's fair. That's definitely because it feels like a beginning Hitchcock. It's clearly not his beginning film, but it feels like a beginning stage for him. But his other stuff I've seen, they're just more suspenseful. There's more like, oh, I care. There's things going on in other movies I've seen. This is just
you know what, we talked about everything else about it, but as a spy movie, I don't think it's really that great.
No.
So like. And that's what it's supposed to be.
No, I'll give it this though. Like, I like that the main character was Ingrid's character. She's the victim from beginning to end. And I feel for her the whole time. Like, she's just, they don't overly victimize her, but she is.
The acting's strong in this, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like one of the only movies that Hitchcock got like a all-star cast or whatever.
Okay, yeah. And it helps. I think that helps a lot in this movie. I think if he got lesser actors or just like not as seasoned actors, this movie would be not as praised.
I read something about that. Like, this is like, normally he doesn't pull together an all-star cast, but he managed to do so with this one for some reason. I don't know. Okay. I read that somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere. But like the behind-the-scenes details in this there was a lot.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I'll just give this a 5 out of 10. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Maybe on a bad day, I probably gave this like a 4 or 3. But 3's too low. I think at worst it's a 4. At best it's a 5.
No, I can't even say that. I think at worst it's a 5.
Oh, okay.
Because there's nothing offensive in it. There's nothing that makes it bad. It's competently made. It's shot fine. It's acted well. It's just fine.
Well, and see, now I'm on his. God damn it! It's just hurting me because I'm on his IMDb. And IMDb, like when you're on their persons or movies thing, it'll show you like clips of their things in that movie. And it's showing me clips of his movies he's done, and these clips are way more inspired and more.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Yeah,
we can't judge this movie on what else he's done. We have to judge this movie for this movie.
No. Yes. You could. Yes. I guess
because he was clearly going for something else with this movie than what he was normally going for.
I think if he were to, let's say he was at the end of his career / life, if he were to redo this movie, it'd be leagues better. I think.
I mean, you keep talking. I don't like. He was 46 at the time of this. He
died in 1980.
Okay.
His last film he directed was 1976.
Okay. I'm just thinking, but like How many movies did he do before this?
The Birds came out in 1963, so that's 20 years later. So, like, I think around that time, if you were to read a lot of movies before this, a lot. On his IMDb, his first credit was from 1922.
So, like, this is like the middle of his career.
Yes.
It's not the beginning of his career.
No, but it's like it's the beginning of Hitchcock, I guess, of how these whatever we just read in the IMDb, like the critics how they want to praise his shit. This is the beginning of his shit. So once he found his thing, the critics liked. If he were to retouch this, I think they would have been more Hitchcockian.
I mean, sure.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Again, that's why it's not a bad movie because he had experience beforehand making movies. I guess.
I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. So we're both out of 5.
We're just going in circles on this movie because I don't think we're both really sold either way.
No, I'm not happy it's a 5. I hate 5 movies. We hate 5 movies. Like, we just watched an okay movie.
Yeah, man.
I didn't hate it or love it. That's all.
No, it's just like can't find I can't justify. I can't almost not justify the 5.
No,
but I can't find a number that's better either.
Exactly. We came into a spy Nazi German espionage movie. It's supposed to be a film noir, and we got an okay movie. Like, what the shit? That's why I think we're upset. Like, it's a 5, I guess.
False advertising.
It really is.
But then again, maybe it's not because I'm starting to believe Noir films don't exist. So
we have to watch another something because there's got to be something, right? There's got to be a film noir somewhere.
We gotta find it somewhere. Sure.
Oh, this is stupid. Anyways, I guess now that we've done it,
it's done.
Now that we did it, it's done.
Now that we did it, it's done.